Hello friends, thanks for joining me. Today I am using some coffee filters that my friend Solae at Solae and Craft sent to me about a year or so ago. And she sent me a beautifully embellished box and it was full of goodies and I've been hoarding them. But I have started to use them and today I'm going to show you how I worked with the coffee filters. So I took these coffee filters and I decided I wanted to make pockets out of them. And most likely I will use them in my journals. As a matter of fact, one of my journals I recently created, I used about 3 of them. And so chances are I'll use the rest of them in journals as well. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I have not watched a tutorial. I'm just folding them, sort of playing with them, figuring out how I can turn them into pockets. So you can see here that I folded this one. Well, first I tore it open and now I'm folding it and gluing it and creating a pocket this way. I'm going to trim up the bottom with my decorative scissors and that way it's not too much of an odd shape. Now I was hurrying and you can't cut with your scissors if your glue is wet. And I'm not always patient and I don't always want to wait for my glue to dry. So I decided ultimately to just tear the bottom and leave it rough like that. Now I'm going to embellish the back. I grabbed some vintage pattern paper. This is the part of it that has the directions on it. And I found this jacket and I thought this would be perfect to put on the front of this pocket. I'm just using tacky glue to adhere that. I grabbed my container of scraps and I've tried to be better about doing that so that I can use some of them. And I found this nice little piece of cotton and we're going to go ahead and layer that on here. And then I have a piece of a doily that my friend Dale of Not Too Shabby Chic gave me. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here as well. I'm going to finish it off by adding a piece of lace across the top. Then I'm going to add a small square of scrapbook paper, which I also got from my scrap bin. And then I'm going to top that off with a little embellishment that I have. I think it came from a piece of jewelry. The final details will be using some pink stickles on the jacket, and that will tie into the pink piece of scrapbook paper that I have. I'm going to put a little stickle there on the flower, and then I'm going to ink around the edges. I absolutely love how this turned out. I want to make a few more and I'm going to fold them differently. I want to experiment with the different ways that I can fold these coffee filters. For this one, I'm going to try to be clever and use my big giant hole punch. Well, it's not a hole punch, I'm sorry, it's a circle punch. But the coffee filter is soft, right? So it will not punch. But it did crease it for me, so I'll just follow along the crease with my scissors and I should get a pretty precise cut. Before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. I've decided to leave this one intact, so I'm not going to tear it open. And I'm just going to fold the corners in. And it will actually create a double pocket for me, I think. I'm going to tack down the corners and then I'm going to add an embellishment right in the center. found this bottle cap in my stash, and so I think I want to start with that. Now you know it's shiny, which means it's not porous, so I need to get in there and scruff that up. So I use my nail file to do that scruffing. Now before I glue that into place, I want to add a little bit of washi tape. I do believe this is Tim Holtz washi tape that was given to me in Happy Mail, which was so kind and generous. I'm going to add that to the edges. Now because it's washi tape, I don't trust it no matter who the manufacturer is. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue down along the edges, and then I'll go ahead and put the washi tape right over top of the glue. Now that that's in place, I want to scruff up this bottle cap a little bit more. So I'm scruffing up the center because I'm definitely going to add something in there. And then I'm going to scruff up the back because I need to adhere that onto the coffee filter. I'm going to use gem tack to adhere the bottle cap to the coffee filter. Gem tack has worked really well for me in the past, so that's what I'm going to use. I use my paper clips to hold that down, hold it into place while I'm working on getting some pieces that I want to stick inside of the bottle cap. So you can see here I have, what do we call this? Cheesecloth. It's a nice teal color. I don't know, teal, aqua. And I'm fraying it so that it just looks really tattered and frayed. I'm going to go ahead and stuff that inside of the bottle cap, and then on top of that I am going to add some small eyelash trim. I really like how this turned out, and I also enjoy the fact that I was able to use stuff from my stash. Okay, I want to try another shape. I've opened this one up, so in other words, I tore open the seams of the coffee filter. And I'm folding it in. You can see I folded it in once. Now I folded it in again, but now I'm going to fold this little flap the opposite direction, and that's going to create a second pocket for me. I've got my creases, so now I'll know where I need to glue it. Now I learned my lesson the first time, so instead of trying to use my decorative scissors after I glue, I'm going to go ahead and use them across the bottom before I glue the bottom. Now even though I glued the edges, that's okay. I can open this up, I can put a little glue inside, and then I'll close it and let it dry. I feel like I'd like to add a doily to this one, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it on, and then I will cut it to size. I'm going to grab a little piece of fabric from my scrap bin. I love this fabric, and I really don't have much of it. It was given to me in Happy Mail, and I just absolutely love it. Now let's add some more goodies to this. I have a piece of gold embellishment that was given to me in Happy Mail. I'm going to go ahead and add that to it, and it's not really going to look finished just by adding that. So I have a blue flower that I have like a die cut, and it makes, actually it's a punch, it's not die cut, it's a punch, and it makes a little flower shape. So I want to go ahead and add some of that. And then I want to take some pink eyelash trim. You can see I'm wrapping it around my finger just to not make a ball, but just, I don't know, make a circle. And I'm going to use hot glue, and I'm going to press it into the glue. On top of that, we're going to add a little pink flower. Look how cute this turned out. I absolutely love it. I think it's adorable. Let's make one more and then I'll show them all to you in the end. So I'm taking the coffee filter and I cut it right down the center, but not on both sides, just on one side. You can see I'm folding those edges out. Now I'm just experimenting with it to sort of see what I want to do with it. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't watch a tutorial or anything like that. I'm truly just playing with these coffee filters and seeing what I can come up with. So, just by experimenting and folding to see what kind of shapes come up, that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I've decided that I like this and I want to make a side pocket. Just like before, I've got the folds where I want them, and now I know where I need to glue them. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to do that. Now that we've got it glued in place, I'm going to go ahead and start embellishing it. We're going to begin our first layer with some very sheer lace. I have a piece of doily. It was a scrap. It was like an offcut. So I'm going to go ahead and add the doily on top of this lace piece. We definitely need some more details on here, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, and I'm going to go ahead down the edge and then I'm going to add some additional lace down both of these edges. Alright friends, I'm almost finished and I'm going to show you all of the ones that we worked on today. Here's a look at each one and how the tags might fit in them. This one's got a double pocket. This one I created to perhaps put in a journal as a side pocket, but you could put it on the bottom as a bottom pocket. This one's got a pocket and then it's got a little space in front of the pocket where you could put something if you wanted to. Here's an example of how you might do that. And here's the last one. And it too has a double pocket. Friends, I'm so glad you joined me. I hope you like these coffee filter makes. Thank you to Solae for sending them to me and inspiring me to be creative in a different way. Thanks for watching. See you soon.